All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So let's begin. Business branding. So we're going to talk about how to build a strong brand for your business, no matter what field you're in. And we're just going to break down the process. So a little bit about me. If you don't know me, my name is Raquel Gutierrez. I'm the marketing director for Mint Mortgage. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and marketing. I also did start my own marketing company called Her Media Group, and I'm currently located in Austin, Texas. So yes, it's cold, like Anthony said. All right, this is the overview of what we will be discussing today. So what is branding for business? Questions to ask yourself, company mission, benefits provided to customers, target audience, and business visual design. So seems like a lot. I'm going to break it down. And like I said, you will have a recording to go back and kind of pause and maybe write down some of your thoughts and your own brand missions to get started. All right, so what is branding for business? Branding is a way of identifying your business. It is how your customers recognize and experience your business. Your brand should reflect what your business stands for and what sets you apart from competitors. So it's basically, in a nutshell, what I just said, if you didn't understand a thing, it's basically how your customers recognize and experience your brand. So for example, if I have a brand and I'm solely focused on providing exceptional customer service, and I'm always providing that and adding value to people, that's kind of how they're going to see my brand as being very customer friendly, customer service, and they'll associate those things together because I branded myself that way. So that's the definition. All right, questions to ask yourself. So if you already have a brand, I'd still advise you to ask yourself these questions because you might get some ideas or maybe change the way you do certain things for the better. So first question, what's your company's mission? Second, what benefits do you provide customers? And then third, who is your target audience? So let's start with the first question. What is your company's mission? So you want to have a clear vision of what your company is trying to do. This way you're able to portray that vision to your audience. So I put the example here of PayPal. There's a lot of great big companies that are good examples, but I really like PayPal's because I think their mission statement and their company statement really represents and makes me think of what PayPal actually is. So theirs is to build the web's most convenient, secure, cost-effective payment solution. So whenever you think of PayPal, I think it's just a secure way to basically make a transaction online, and their mission statement says exactly that. So a few questions to consider here. If you follow me on Instagram, you did get a sneak peek of our presentation with this right here. So what a business mission statement should answer. So these are 3 questions that you should ask yourself when starting your brand and creating a statement that's going to basically stick with you forever. So what does your company do? How does your company do it? Sorry. And why does your company do it? So it's 3 simple questions, but it'll basically have you consider your brand and always basically keep you aligned with what you stand for. So these are 3 really good questions. And like I said, if you have a paper pencil, you could do it now. So what does your company do? Something as easy as marketing for my company. How does your company do it? And why does your company do it? All right, let's go on to the next question. What benefits do you provide customers? So what are your company values? Use repeating visual cues that remind visitors of your differentiating values and features. So for example, if your brand cares about the environment, choose visual cues like the color green or earth related. So this is kind of relating a lot to what you're putting out there and what your brand is representing as a whole. So for example, I put here If my brand is about the environment and maybe let's start a solar panel company, right? And I'm trying to be more eco-friendly and I'm trying to, target customers with who feel the same about me with the environment. I want to choose things that also correlate to the environment, which would be, green, earthy, more eco-friendly, and things like that. So those are some benefits you would basically be representing and showing off to people online, in person, and with your entire culture as a whole. All right, the next question is, who is your audience? So you want to research and compile data on your existing customers. If you don't have any customers yet and you are considering starting a brand, or you have a brand but don't have any customers at the moment, a good way to find who your audience is actually to analyze your competition. So you want to see a company who's basically doing the same thing as you in your field, and who is buying from them, who is going to their page, who's following their social medias, what's happening. So you kind of want to do an analysis on them and see the type of people that they're bringing in based off of what their brand is representing. And like I said, if you already have an audience, you kind of know the type of people you're bringing in. So you can always just research on existing customers, because ideally, you do want to know their age, their location, their language, their purchase intention, and you basically want to write a good example of the type of person they are, and hitting a target audience. So I put here a perfect example for a business travel company. You can see here we break down key demographics, key psychographics, challenges, preferred channels, and this is what you want in your business, because then you know who you're speaking to, who your audience is, and who you're selling to at the end of the day. So for example here, business travel company, age range from 30 to 55, female 70%, 30 male, common job titles, it has it here. And this is, like I said, this is something you want to do with yours. This is just an example for business travel company. And you see here, values relationships when working with suppliers, dislikes working on repetitive and tasks, challenges suppliers fail to deliver on promised rates. So it's very detailed and kind of to the T, because breaking this down will show you exactly who you're marketing to and what your brand is doing for those people. All right, so like I said, you guys can go back and read this and kind of write your own once you get the recording. And then with all of those 3 questions that you ask yourself, the last thing would be the business visual design. So this is like your logo, your design pattern. Like I said, define your brand voice. So your logo, I always advise to place it everywhere. You want to keep your logo the same and build omnipresence. So for example, my uniform logo is going to be the same as a logo that I put on social media, or the same that I hand out on free flyers or anything like that. So people can see it and recognize it every time you are doing anything with your business. Define your brand voice. So what is your brand tone? Serious and educational, fun and friendly. This is something that varies based on what your business is and the type of person you are. Keep in mind, if you're a serious person, don't try to build a friendly and casual brand, because it's kind of just depends on the type of person you are, because your brand ideally does represent you as a person. So just define your brand voice and what you're going to put out there, and keep in mind that your brand voice will be on every platform you decide to be on, so keep it consistent. All right, your design pattern, use the same color scheme, logo placement, look and feel throughout. So this goes back to what we were saying with environmental friendly company, keeping the color green and earthy colors. So you kind of want to have the same color schemes throughout your entire business and your brand. Like I said, with the logo, keeping it and placing it everywhere. And you want to have the same look and feel throughout everything you do, right? And then last but not least, be consistent. This is the most important tip. Without consistency, establishing a brand will fail. So it's nice to have everything figured out, but 95% of the time, you don't have everything figured out. And it's a lot of trial and error, especially when you're just starting your business. The most important thing is to be consistent. As long as you're, writing down your statement and kind of building a solid outline, you're already ahead of so many businesses that, have more than 3 logos that aren't sure what they want to do or what colors they're trying to do. This is all going to be trial and error. So be consistent and continue growing and evolving as a company and as a business as a whole. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I kind of like to go through the entire PowerPoint and then ask you guys. We can go back. You guys can ask questions, concerns, anything like that. Let me know.
I guess I'm curious. I think the whole demographic thing is super important, but where do you get that info? Do you have a specific site that you personally have gone to? Or for example, you said to look at your competitors. So after looking at the competitors, how would we be able to, how do you suggest that we get the demographic facts?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Nicole. So let's go back to the little flyer here. I actually found this on Google and I thought it was great. Because this is exactly what any marketing company does when trying to find that target audience. So, okay, you don't have any customers, let's say, or you're not sure who your target audience is. You want to analyze the competitor. So let's say, for example, I'm starting out, let's make it simple, like a Home Depot kind of style store, and I'm selling to people who fix things, drills and all that good stuff that Home Depot has. I don't know why I just thought of that, but whatever. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I'm gonna see the type of people that that enjoy going to Home Depot, go to Home Depot, and kind of build that persona and build that ideal client. That way you can target them with what you do and your business and your branding. So I'm not sure if I explained that well, but it's basically like building your ideal client and seeing the type of people who will go and work with your business. So Nicole, the perfect example for you, I'd say, would be like, if I don't know anything about kitchens, repairs, anything like that, but I own a home and I'm looking to fix a home, but I don't want to spend that much money and I don't know about anything to do with repairs or fixing or anything like that. So in that case, you're targeting people who may not have or may not know anything about repairs. And typically homeowners tend to be a little older, in the late 20s, 30s, 40s. You're gonna have to do the research on that, I'm not sure. And is it women, is it men who predominantly are looking to fix their homes, or wanting to redo the kitchen, make the kitchen nicer? And it's kind of just breaking down every little part of your ideal client, so then you can speak to them with your branding and your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just have to kind of see, like you said, figure out if it's more girls looking into doing their kitchen wrap or more guys, or and then also the age, because kitchen wrap is actually better for people who rent.
because it's not a permanent thing.
Yeah. You
So,
see, I
yeah,
wouldn't know.
so it'd go younger. Yeah, it would actually be younger than that late 20s. It would be like early 20s, maybe mid 20s, and then on. But yeah, that actually helped a lot.
Yeah, so like I said, you really have to kind of, the best way to angle it would be off of a business who's succeeding and is already doing it, because you are doing the same thing they are. It's just a different business style, and it's a different business mission. Going back to the mission statement, you know, what you do, why you do it, and how you do it. So, you know, breaking that down, and you, like I said, you are looking and analyzing your competition, but you are not, you know, copying them. Their business is completely different from yours, even if you guys are doing the same thing. There can be, for example, I'll use realtors, one realtor who's specifically on great customer service, and other realtors who are specifically on luxury. They're in the same exact field, but targeting completely different people. So that's just breaking down what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions? Nope. All right. Well, I tried to have my meetings 30 minutes and then 10 to 15 minutes for any questions. But if you guys don't have any, then thank you guys for coming. I hope you learned something or benefited in any way from this training. If you guys have any questions but are too shy to ask them, feel free to send me a DM or an email I have here, hermediagroup@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Like I said, thank you again for coming and learning something new. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.